Hi, nice to have you back here on the mat. My name is Rebecca, and today we're going through a class that is focusing on leg strength and leg stretches. As some of you might know, I'm an eager hiker, and I like to use my legs quite a bit also during the day. So building the mobility as well as the stretching of the legs is something that I think is really useful. Since I'm a very symmetrical person, I feel like I still need to do upper body as much as lower body in the same workout. So for this practice, it's gonna be useful for you to have a bolster and 2 blocks, mostly because we're doing some compression with the legs that I found especially useful to release the psoas muscle. That helps me to really let go from a stressful day. So in case you don't have that, I suggest that you either use books, thick books, or anything else that is kind of, solid in material, as well as a cushion. Okay, let's get into it then. Today we're gonna start in standing. So take a little bit more than hip width apart with your legs. Bend your knees slightly. And then I invite you to find that spot by rotating the upper body where you have the feeling that all parts of your feet are equally engaged. So some of us tend to, be more bringing the weight towards the front, so towards the toes, whereas others might be a bit more towards the heel side. So try to find your sweet spot where the weight is carried equally by all 4 corners of your foot. That also goes with your alignment of your pelvis. So as you might lean backwards a little bit, the pelvis tilts slightly forwards. So it's really about finding that place where your feet are engaged and the pelvis is level. So neither forward rotation nor backwards. And once more, try to have that little bend in your knees. And then settle into a more or less still posture when you have the feeling that you've found your sweet spot. And from that part upright, kindly pulling your belly button towards your spine. Roll your shoulders up and back. Release the shoulders into the shoulder girdle. Allow your arms to be heavy alongside your upper body. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And just notice how your weight is pressing into your feet. And feel that connection between your feet and the floor. And even though you have this good upright posture, you feel that you're rooting down. I invite you then to bring your awareness to your breathing. Noticing the inhale and exhale. Notice the movement in your upper body as you continue to focus on your breathing. I invite you then to engage all sides of your lungs. So typically, or at least from my experience, we tend to think of the lungs as something that is in front of us. So we tend to breathe in into the front of the body. But we can also breathe into the side, so in between the ribs and towards the back side. So I invite you to first, when you inhale, breathe into the front into the side and into the back. Hold it there for a moment and release. Inhale to the front, to the side, to the back. Hold there for a moment, release. One last time, inhale towards the front, to the side, to the back. Hold for as long as you can. And slowly start to side out. Blink your eyes open. And we're gonna do some sun salutation as a warm-up. So as you inhale, draw your arms towards the ceiling, palms meet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands toward the mat, step back. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, push up to cobra. Chest reaches forward. Exhale, tuck your toes up to your knees and back to downward facing dog. Maybe start to walk your dog as you continue to breathe, creating space in the back sides of your legs. Making sure that you press your fingers also into the mat so that your weight is not solely carried by your wrists. Press into your hands to shift your back a little bit more upwards, creating length in the side of your body and in the lower back. Take one deep inhale through your nose and gently side out through your mouth. Inhale, look in between your hands, step all the way forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, root to rise, palms meet. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, slant your hands, step back. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, either bend your knees or straight legs with your elbows close to the rib cage. Inhale, either cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Again, stay here for at least 3 rounds of breathings. Stay here for at least 3 rounds of breath. And notice that it's always okay to bend the legs a little bit. So most of us are quite tight in the backside of the legs. So don't compromise the posture by wanting to keep your legs straight, but then you have that rounding in the back side. So here in the lower part of your back is where you want to have that hinging sensation from your hips. So it is more beneficial to keep your legs bent rather than bending here in the upper side of your back. Inhale through your nose and side out through the mouth. Inhale, look in between your hands, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, move all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, bend your knees, lower your hips, straighten your arms upwards to chair pose. Notice that your legs stay parallel towards each other. And that you pull your belly button in towards your spine. Strong legs, continue to breathe. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Push both palms towards each other so that you can twist nicely towards your left side. Lower your hips slightly and feel how the strengthening in your legs is somewhat firing up. Letting the muscles start to do their work. One more round of breath. Inhale, back to center, arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, hand in front of the heart. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Palms pressed against one another. Long spine, maybe slightly lower the hips. And yeah, by now you should feel that fiery sensation in your thighs. One more round of breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back to standing. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Long spine. Exhale, lower all the way down. Either come to an upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale, left leg goes all the way up. Inhale, knee to chest. Foot to the floor. Right heel comes in and down. And we lift up to warrior one. And warrior one, make sure that your hips move towards the front of the mat. So you have that feeling of rooting forward. But make sure that your knee is not collapsing, but it's pointing towards the toe side. Maybe bring your palms together and look towards your thumbs. One round of breathing and then lower down. Back to plank. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale, right leg comes up. Inhale through the chest. Place the foot, left heel in and down. Foot 40-degree angle, lift up. Warrior one on the other side. Make sure that your lower ribs stay in and the belly button is drawn in towards the spine. Shoulders move away from the ears and feel that, with your arms up, there is this strong sensation. So whenever we lift the arms, there is an uplift also in the energy and the mood that we have. So feel that it's not called warrior posture for a reason, right? Continue to breathe. Maybe palms together. Look up. Exhale. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through the mouth and sighing it out. Inhale, look in between your hands. Step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hand in front of the heart. Place your weights into your left foot so that you can draw your knee in front of you and find your stable posture. It helps to, pull the belly button in once more so that you have a strong core, and find a point in front of you that you can rest your gaze on. Ideally something that is not moving. Inhale, arms come up. And then as you exhale, you start to slightly bend in the standing leg and kick the right leg back so that you find your way into warrior 3. Try to keep your hips level. And should that be too much for your arms, you can always bring them to the side, which helps you a little bit with your balance. And yeah, that's a more advanced pose, especially how we entered it. Keep your right foot flexed to control your floating leg. And start then to bend the front leg even more so that you can lightly place the right foot back on the floor. Arms come up for high lunge. Inhale, long upper body. And exhale, lightly start to lower the right knee. So finding your way to low lunge. What I like to do is then moving my front foot a little bit more to the front of the mat so that I can find that range where I can stretch more into my hip area. It's also okay if you want to place your hands to your knee and find that posture where you can feel a nice stretch into your front right thigh and also a bit of a compression in your left leg. It's kind of a warm day today. Like, I think it's supposed to rain, but it's not actually raining outside, so you can feel the density. But it just adds to the nice vibe of, like, sweating a little bit. Inhale, hands in front of the heart, and right elbow once more to left knee for a twist. Continue to breathe. Maybe look over your left elbow. And just as I tend to like to stay in poses a bit longer, it's always okay if, you start to count your breathing. Because sometimes, especially when we stay for a bit, the mind needs a certain engagement or task to do to, not freak out about what the other parts of the body are doing. Nice. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Straighten your right foot, leg. Step all the way forward, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hand in front of the heart. Shift your weight to the right foot, micro bend in your knee, and draw your left knee in front of you. Long upper body, stable posture, soft gaze. Catch a balanced breathing. Bring your hands once more in front of the heart. Keep that bend in your standing leg to shift your upper body forwards. Straighten the left leg behind you and bring both arms forwards. Hips remain squared, left foot is flexed. Engagement in both the glutes and your back. Nice. And also here the option to bring the arms to the side. And then lightly start to bend the standing leg even more and lift upper body, lowering the left foot. High lunge. Slightly lower the left knee to the mat, to low lunge. Shift your right foot a bit forward and allowing to find that stretch in your front left thigh. Exhale, either hands in front of the heart or to the knee. Continue to breathe gently and evenly. And as the last part of the exercise, also a twist, bringing in your left elbow to the right knee, pressing palms towards each other. Look over your right elbow. Soften your gaze, focusing on your breathing. One last round of breathing. Inhale, back to center, arms come up. Exhale, hands come down. Get back into your plank. Lower your knee. And for a little while, sit back to child's pose. Calm your breathing and allow the whole body to grow heavy. Knowing that the more intense poses are completed in this practice. Maybe shift your forehead lightly from left to right so that you can give your forehead a nice massage. Start to walk your arms back. And as a final exercise, today we're going to do what I call the thigh stretch. So bring your bolster in front of you, and then the blocks on medium height, so that you have this lower range upwards. And make sure that you place them somewhat in the middle of your legs. And then place just above your chest the bolster. And then in that posture, it's really about letting the legs float over the blocks. Sometimes it needs a little bit of adjustment. And then start to pull in your belly. So you want to avoid this kind of, back bend. So also protecting your lower back by pulling in your belly button. And then at the same time you start to release in your legs. So there is a nice compression against your thighs. And it can sometimes at first be a bit confronting, as it's quite an intense posture. It's like when you go to a massage and you have a strong Thai lady working on your thighs. So focus on breathing calmly. You keep that deep abdominal breathing. And especially if you also tend to do, other exercises as hiking or running or things like that, and you have a lot of tension in your thigh muscle, it can be really helpful to stay here for a little while so that you can, help the muscle to actually relax. Because this compression, once we start to lift it, you have this nice relaxation sensation in the muscle. Maybe shift a little bit more backwards so that you have then the blocks maybe just underneath your groins. lower your upper body once more. And then same here. Allowing the muscle to grow heavy over the blocks. Continue to breathe. And just really be present with your body. Allowing the mind also to slow down. And it usually does take about, at least a minute until there is actually a release in the muscle, or that ease of tension. So it requires a little bit of patience. Patience with your body, patience with yourself. I know I'm not an expert in that, so sometimes I feel like a hypocrite to say be patient, but it's one of those universal laws. One round of breath. And release. Moving outside of the posture. Put the blocks to the side. Finding once more your way into child's pose. Growing heavy. And we take this as a final pose for today's practice. If you feel like you need a proper shavasana, you can always pause the video and do that instead. And otherwise, take a couple of rounds of breath here. Allowing the upper body to grow fully heavy once more. Long spine. Maybe you bring that part of the breath as we started back into the front of your lungs, side of the ribs and the back side. Before you release. Another round inhale towards the front, side, back, and release. One last time, inhale to the front, to the side, to the back, and release. Slowly start to walk out of the posture. Find your way into a seated position. Place your hands somewhere along your thighs. Keep your eyes closed for a moment and just tune into the body and feel how you feel after this practice, how your leg feels. And regardless of where you're standing in your day, I invite you to make an intention. Like, regardless of what you're doing, that you stay present with your body, with the way you breathe, so that you have a more meaningful connection with yourself, and therefore also a more meaningful connection with people you interact with. If that makes sense. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. And slowly start to blink your eyes open. And then I thank you very much for letting me guide you. And I hope to see you again in another video. Take care.